trying to talk to you about optimal ways of sitting. In this video, particularly with the intention of considering what impacts that has on the inguinal region, inguinal hernias. But this video can be used for kind of any kind of posture-related work whilst you're sat down. So I'm going to split it into two sections, well, probably three actually. So the first thing is we find, particularly with hernias and other conditions as well, that there's normally a difference in position between the pelvis and the rib cage, just an alignment issue there. So it's really important that we get that weight evenly across our sit bones, across our backside there, and we've got a similar amount of weight through both cheeks of your bottom. A lot of people like to sit up with one foot like that, one way or the other, but again, of course, that's building in imbalances that when we release those and work those out, we normally find that helps people's symptoms for inguinal hernias, but all kinds of conditions as well. Moving downwards, we want the feet nice and even, nice and grounded through the feet there. Mine have a tendency to roll out a little bit, that's a bit too exaggerated for me. But when it feels within reason, kind of natural, you don't want to force anything into a position it's just not comfortable in. But the key thing is to have the feet, the whole of the foot grounded on the floor. Myself, I tend to get into this position a lot. Puts the Achilles and calf in a short type position, for example. But again, if we're nice and grounded through here, particularly when we talk about the inguinal hernias, is that separation between the pelvis and the rib cage that we often find is at least part cause for the symptoms in that hernia area. And then finally, it's the position of the pelvis. I'm going to turn the side on to better demonstrate this in terms of sitting. So there's two difficulties in terms of sitting. A lot of us like to slouch down like that a little bit when we're tired or just being a bit lazy. That's fine. It's just when we spend a lot of time in that position, can leave our muscles short and tight, affecting that kind of inguinal areas and other areas through the body. And some of us are the other way. Some of us are a little bit too tight, too on edge, and tend to find we've got a bit too much of a tilt through here. So the way we find what we call a kind of a pelvic neutral is to just move between those two extremes of movement. And just make it a smaller and smaller movement each time you do it. I've done this many times before, so it doesn't take me too long. But just to show you, if I'm honest with myself, my natural posture would be something like that. So I still have a tendency to just rock down a little bit, and then if I'm really tired, I'd be somewhere down here. Okay, so it's just building that awareness of where we should be and kind of where we want to be. Just turn back to you. Some of you doing that, you may find if you're particularly tight through this area, and people with inguinal hernias generally are, you may find that it's difficult to disassociate those movements. It almost moves as one complete block. But if you keep practicing, that really will come and it will get better. And there's some other stretches as well we talked about in our previous video regarding inguinal hernias as well. So I'll put a link in that at the end of this video. Hope you find that useful. If you did, please give us a subscribe. Thanks very much.